Okay, the first thing is, okay, the length equals this A, which you don't know over the frequency, right? Okay, so to figure out what the A value is, what you have to do is take the length, right, that they give you, which is 14, right, and multiply it by 450, right? Okay, so 14 times 450 is 6,300. Okay, now 6,300 is your A value, right? Okay, so you're going to go up here and put down L equals 6,300 divided by, right, the frequency, right? Okay, all right, now what is it they're asking you about? They're asking you, okay, so look, if the violin is 12 inches in length, right? So this is 12 inches in length, right? And they have 6,300 divided by F, right? Okay. So that means then what? That 12F equals 6,300, right? So you're going to divide by 12, right? Divide both sides by 12. And you'll find out that the frequency equals 525, right, cycles per second. Okay, all right, so let's talk about whether it's balanced, bottom heavy, or top heavy. So tell me this. So first, number 2 is what? Bottom heavy. Okay, so this is bottom heavy. Okay, all right. And then number 3 is top heavy, good job. And then number 3 is top heavy, right? Just put that on top of each, or heavy. Right. Okay, and then number 4 is balance. Okay, see, so that's easy, right? That's easy. You guys can do that with, nothing to it. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the vertical asymptotes, right? Okay, all right, so to find the vertical asymptotes, what do you always do? Set the bottom always equal to 0. Right, okay, so you're going to do this. You're going to say x squared minus 9x equals 0. Right? Okay, so you're going to set x squared minus 9 equal to 0. You're going to set x equal to 0, right? And you're going to set x squared plus 3 equal to 0, right? Okay, so everybody understands that? Okay, so now, for this one, right, you're going to add 9 over, right, then square root both sides, right, and you get x equals what now? Plus or minus 3, right? You guys all know that, okay? X equals plus or minus 3 would be that answer, right? Okay, here, the answer's already there. It's x equals 0. See, that's easy. Okay, now here, right, you're going to subtract 3 over, right? Square root both sides, right? Now what are you going to find out? It's imaginary, so what would you put here? Okay, you can either write down NA or you can write down none, right? Whichever you want to do. Okay, so everybody good with that? Let's stop there. Okay, so now, when it's bottom heavy, right, the horizontal asymptote's always what now? Y equals 0, right? That's what we talked about yesterday. You had that on the test yesterday, right? Okay, when it's top heavy, okay, what's the horizontal asymptote? No, what's that? Okay, no. When it's top heavy, what's the horizontal asymptote? Okay, we'll stop there. Okay, so if it's top heavy, then horizontal asymptote, it doesn't have it. Does not apply. Okay, now how about when it's balanced? Tell me about the horizontal asymptote. It's what you did yesterday on the test. You want to say again? Well, okay, so what is that? Okay, so it's 3. Okay, so it's just 3 like that? Y equals. There you go. Put down y equals. It's y equals 3. It's 3 over 1, which is 3, right? Okay, that's correct. That's what it would be. And once again, you did this yesterday on the test. It's nothing new for you guys, okay? Okay, all right, now we're going to go to the domain, right? Okay, so what's the domain for this one? It's going to be all real numbers, right? Okay, all real numbers, what? Right. X cannot equal plus or minus 3. That's right. Okay, so that's an easy one, right? Okay, how about the second one's the domain? All real numbers, x cannot equal 0. You got it. Okay, it's correct. Okay, how about the third one? What's it going to be? All real numbers. Right. There are no restrictions. Okay. All right. So we're going to factor the upper left one. To factor the upper left one, here's what it becomes: 2x plus 3 times x minus 2, okay? We're going to factor the lower left one. It has a common factor of x squared, right? It becomes x plus 2. We're going to factor the upper right one. It has a common factor of 6, x plus 2, right? And we're going to factor the lower right one, okay? And it has a common factor of 3, and then after you take that out, you get this, x plus 2 and x minus 2. Okay, so now the next step is that you're going to cancel, okay, either, remember, it's got to be 1 for 1 is the cancel. It's either when they're on top of each other or they're diagonal from each other, right? Okay, so what can you cancel here? Okay, the x plus 2's, okay, so here we go, canceling x plus 2's. What else can you cancel? The x minus 2's we can cancel. Anything else you can cancel? Yes, you can. You made a mistake. What's that? What else can you cancel? Okay, right. 3 goes into 6 2 times, right? Well, see, you got to get everything. All right. So now can you cancel anything else? No. Okay, so now you can write down the answer. The answer is going to be 2 times 2x plus 3 over, right, x squared, okay, times x plus 2, right? Okay, all right, so the first thing we're going to have to do is take the fraction after the division and then trade places, right? Okay, so after switching, okay, taking the reciprocal of the third fraction, right, then you're going to factor each part of the fraction, right? Okay, so, all right, so then you factor each of the parts, right, okay, of each of the fractions. Okay, all right, so now the next step then is to start the canceling, right? Remember, it's going to be 1 for 1, right? 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, or diagonal or anything, right? So what do you see we can cancel? Okay, the x plus 2's over is right. There's an x plus 2 and there's an x plus 2. What else? X minus 1's. I see that. There's an x minus 1 and x minus 1. Anything else we can cancel? X plus 3's. There's one there and there's one there. I see those. Anything else we can cancel? Now, okay, the 4x, right, so the 4 goes into the 8 how many times? 2. And this x cancels and the square cancels, right? It just becomes just plain old x, right? Okay, all right, so now can you write the final answer? Yes or no? Yes, you sure can. Okay, so the final answer then would be 1 on the top, 2x on the top, and then 1 on the bottom, x plus 1 on the bottom. You got it. Okay, there you go. That should be the final answer right there. All right, so the first thing that we do when you have to add and you have to subtract two rational functions, right, is to find the LCD. Okay, so here we're finding the LCD right here. Okay, and you can see, okay, here's an x plus 5. Do I have any other x plus 5s? I have 1. So what's the most I got? I got 1 of them. Okay, here's an x minus 2. Do I have any other x minus 2's? No, so the most I got is 1 of them. All right, so here's my LCD right here. Okay, so remember, the other smart trick here to do is this, to change this negative into a positive, and then stick the negative onto this. Okay, so now if the LCD is x plus 5, x minus 2, the first fraction already has that. We don't have to do anything to it. The second fraction we have to multiply by x minus 2 on the bottom and x minus 2 on the top. Okay, so since we have a common denominator, we can combine them together, and we get 3x plus negative 2 times x minus 2, and then that's over the common denominator, x plus 5, x minus 2. Okay, so now we're going to distribute the negative 2 like this, right? And we're going to get 3x negative 2x plus 4 over x plus 5, x minus 2. Okay, all right, now let's combine our like terms. What are you going to get on the top? X plus 4 on the top. Okay, what are you going to get on the bottom? X plus 5, x minus 2. Okay, and then you have to ask yourself, is there anything I can simplify there? Is there anything you can cancel? No, there's nothing. Okay, nothing's in common. Okay, there's the answer right there. Okay, problem number 8. We're adding again, so you have to find the least common denominator. Okay, so the least common denominator, okay, should be, okay, here's a 3. Are there any other 3's? No. You write one down. Here's an x minus 3. Any other x minus 3s? Yes, one right there. What's the most you got? 1. Okay, here's x minus 2. Are there any other x minus 2s? No. What's the most I got? 1. There's my LCD right there. Okay, so now, here we go. What do I have to multiply the first fraction by? X minus 2 on the top and on the bottom. On the bottom and on the top. What do I have to multiply the second fraction by? 3 on the bottom and on top. Okay? Okay, so now since I have a common denominator, I can combine the two rational functions together, all right, to get this. All right, now I'm going to clean up the top. I'm going to FOIL the top, right? So I'm going to get what? X squared minus x minus 2, and then add 15 or 2 that over the common denominator. Okay, now let's combine our like terms. So what are we going to get? X squared minus x plus 13, okay, over this. X minus 3, x minus 2. Now the only question you got is, can you factor the numerator here? And the answer is no. You can't factor it. That has to be your answer. There's nothing you can simplify. That has to be the answer. Okay, so the first thing you have to do on number 9 is find the LCD. So look, you have a 2, you have an x minus 6, and then you have an x squared minus 12x plus 36, right? Which becomes x minus 6 times x minus 6. Okay, so here we go. What's the LCD? All right, it's 2, right? Okay, and then it's 2 x minus 6's, right? So the most I have is 2 of them, right? Okay, so now what you're going to do is multiply each fraction by the LCD, which will cancel denominators. Okay, so on the first one, I multiply this by the first fraction. What's going to cancel? The 2's cancel, which gives me what? X minus 6 times x minus 6, okay? Then plus, okay, now multiply the second fraction by the LCD, right? So what's going to cancel? Yeah, 1 x minus 6 is going to cancel. So that's going to give me 2 times 2, 4 times 1 x minus 6. Okay, now multiply the bottom fraction by the LCD. What are you going to get? What's going to cancel? The 2x minus 6's will cancel, right? So it's going to be 2 times 3x minus 6. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to FOIL this. Then distribute this. And then put it over the denominator. Okay, so now when I combine my like terms, I get what? X squared minus 8x, right? Plus 12, right? Over 2 times 3x minus 6. Okay, all right, so what we did is now we distributed the 2 to make this. Okay, now we can say, let's factor the top. Let's factor the top. So that's going to be what? X minus 6, x minus 2, right? Okay, now, can you factor the bottom? Yes, you can take out a common factor of 6. And then what are you left with? X minus 2. Oh my gosh, look what happens. There's something hidden in there that you can cancel now. So what's going to cancel? The x minus 2's will cancel. What? The x minus 2's will cancel. Which leaves you with the final answer now. So now you got your final answer, which is going to be, okay, x minus 6, right, over 6 is the final answer.